Howdy, what am I doing, you might ask? Well, I'm about to play some Mario Sunshine on this GameCube that I bought off eBay. The seller said it was tested and working, so I'm about to boot this baby up and play one of my favorite games ever made. I should probably try and sell this on Craigslist. Buying used game consoles can be such a bitch. You buy the console, go to test it out, and... But the seller said it worked! Buying used consoles online or anywhere really is a gamble, since there's a chance the console you bought will work, and there's a chance of it doing exactly not that. The seller may say the unit is working, but unless there's an image showing that the console is in fact working, I'll just keep scrolling until I find something that's a little more trustworthy. Then we have the people who overprice their particular system, not because it's sealed in the packaging, not because it's had custom work done on it, it's because the console is retro and they believe that people will buy it no matter what. What these people don't realize is customers will see this overpriced bullshit, keep scrolling, and find the same thing for a much cheaper price. I'm sure we've all been through this before. You go into your basement, find a bin that has an old console you used to play a lot, you get excited, bring it upstairs, only to find that it no longer works. You have all these games, you want to play them again. Too bad you have to hunt down the console, and online or anywhere else it's overpriced because nostalgia. But what's worse is when this happens. You see the issue here? Look real close. Yeah, the hookups are missing. This is the worst because now you have to hunt down the hookups for the console, and even then there's still a chance the console won't work. At least most of the time, the cables aren't nearly as expensive as the hardware, and you can find alternatives. How about when you have the console, the AC adapter, the AV cables, but no controllers? This just hurts, especially when you know the console is working. You have all these games, but you can't play them. Instead, the only thing you can do is just sit there and stare at what could be. Whoa. Ever get a hand-me-down console like a Game Boy and everything looks perfectly fine until... On a scale of 1 to 10 on how much this infuriates me, this is a solid 27. Why is it so hard to keep the cover for the batteries? I get why people lose it. It's a small piece of plastic. But it's also an important piece of plastic. I mean, sure, you could cover it up with duct tape so the batteries stay in, but then the console just feels broken. I don't quite know how to describe this feeling. Whenever I do this to a console, even if it works perfectly fine, it feels broken to me, and I want to use it a lot less. If you had a DS in your childhood, it is pretty much required by law that you lose the stylus at some point. So when you find it years later, you will go out, get a new DS, and... You're not going to use that new DS, you're just going to take the stylus from that one because you want to use your DS. Even if it doesn't match, you at least have a stylus again. I don't know why, but whenever I get a new DS Lite, it's missing the GBA cover. It's not an incredibly important thing, you don't need it for the DS to work. Though it will look incomplete without it, and I know that bugs a bunch of you as much as it bugs me. You ever get a console from a yard sale or a family member and the f***ing reset button is broken? For me, it's always the GameCube for some reason. The reset button is either stuck in place and can't be used, or it's just flat out broken. Come on, I gotta reset Melee before I lose! Damn it! The Genesis 2, whenever I get one of these things, no matter what model it is, where I bought it, or even if I try to fix it, the reset button just doesn't work. Disc-based consoles with this style of tray may just not shut at all. You could just put something on it so it'll work, but at that point, find a way to fix it or just get another one. You ever been at a yard sale and then see a game console that looks like this? The people trying to sell these old consoles clearly didn't store them properly. They look disgusting. How did it get like this? I know some Super Nintendos turn yellow over time. See, it's all due in part to the plastic Nintendo used to make the console, so if you didn't store properly, you end up with a rectangular banana. I've seen some gross looking consoles over the years, and I hate it when these people try to sell them as is. Like, what did you do, store it in manure? It's my aesthetic. One of my biggest pet peeves is when someone is selling an old console with cracks and holes in it for the same price as one in much better condition. I hate those people more than my dead uncle. I've had a few consoles with broken controller ports. Everything else works on these guys, but the ports either don't work at all, or they read some inputs wrong. I've bought consoles with broken controllers, so playing the game is a lot more annoying than it is fun. I have no idea how a controller can even get in this condition. No idea. Quick little side tangent, see this PS2? My family's had this little guy since it was released, and it has provided me with hundreds of hours of entertainment. I love this thing, but one day in 2009, I believe, the console just stopped working. It would turn on, but reading games was out of the question. My family never replaced this PS2, and nor did we ever get rid of the console that was broken. We just kind of put it in a box and left our PS2 games to sit around and collect dust. However, 3 years later, I wanted to play those games again, so I asked my dad if I could pull the PS2 out and give it a go. He said no. So what did I do? Pull it out anyway and plug it in. I popped in Sonic Mega Collection Plus, hit the power button, and it worked just fine. Video game consoles confuse me. Look, if you're gonna buy an old console, go to eBay with caution. You may be able to find a lot more obscure stuff like the Sharp FC Twin. Too bad it'll be overpriced, broken, or both. Amazon is the better choice for casual collectors in my opinion, since the sellers are from these awesome retro game stores and the prices are reasonable. You could also go to these stores directly. I know that's a lot harder these days. They'll make sure the console looks good, plays well, and they'll give you everything you need in order to play it, on top of selling games for the system. Buying used games is a whole other can of worms, but you'll never convince me that buying the games is a more frustrating experience compared to buying the console. Both may be difficult to find, but if you find the game, you found the game. Just buy it. Yeah, you may find the console, but does it have controllers, hookups, does the thing even work? Do you own games for it, or do you have to continue hunting to find more games? Overall, the safe bet is to go to retro game stores or Amazon, so you don't really have to worry about all this. With all that being said, I did just get this Atari Jaguar off eBay. The seller assured me that it won't make a small explosion upon turning it on, so I don't think I have too much to worry about.